YouTube bound community, Spiral Staircase fans, random people on the internet. My name is Giggens, and we are here today to talk about the Lone LP by the Spiral Staircase, More Today Than Yesterday, put out on the Columbia Records label in 1969. This is absolutely one of the most lost masterpiece classics of the 60s. You'll know More Today Than Yesterday. That was their biggest pop single. It's a fantastic song, and the rest of the album is just as high caliber quality pop music as that track is. Um, I've known about this group since I was a little kid based off that one song. And fairly recently, in the last few months, I discovered this LP in the dollar bin section and just picked it up because I was like, oh, give it a try. And I'm so glad that I did. It is absolutely a lost 60s classic. This is an album, if you love 60s pop music that's nostalgic and warm, with soaring vocals and comforting feels, this is exactly what you're looking for. This thing is just like, where has this been all my life type of an album. Bar for their cover of Proud Mary that somebody else in the band sings, everything else in this album is fantastic. It's peppered with originals by Pat Upton, the lead singer of the group. And I'm all the better for hearing this album. It's been such a joy to experience over and over again. So let's just jump in. So, More Today Than Yesterday, the title track, the lead off track here. An absolute smash hit. This song was a humongous hit for these guys, and it's still played on oldie stations today. It's a classic. I mean, it's an upbeat, soulful song with excellent horn arrangements. That sunshine optimism is exciting. It's playful but mature. It's all the feel-good vibes you could want in a pop song. It's just a soaring gem of comfort. You know, it's just a dedication to appreciating the one you're with. And the execution is done so spritefully. Pat Upton's voice is one of the most incredible voices I've ever heard. I really want to know more about um, his story and what happened next. I know they all kind of split their ways after this album came out, and just from differences of touring and contractual stuff and where they want the band to go, so things just didn't work out for them. But um, I would love to learn more about Pat's musical journey after this and what he did. I know he sang on some other albums, but his voice is just a knockout. Then you get Broken Hearted Man. Crisp, clean production, a nice dreamy backdrop allows Pat to kind of soar in a crooning kind of fashion on this one. Another song that should have been a big hit. I mean, it hits all the 60s pop hook construction notes you could hope for. Big, bright, instantly hummable. It's a fantastic track. Then they cover For Once in My Life, which everybody was doing in those days, but it's fun. Pat shines on this one. Great voice. Nothing too crazy to talk about there. This Guy's in Love with You. Another one everyone was doing back then, the Herb Alpert song. But Pat's voice is very emotive and warm and welcome on this track, and he nails that gentle delivery feel. Sweet Little Thing is cool. Great little song. And then Proud Mary, I don't know who was singing this one, but it just does not work. This thing falls flat completely. Um, for me, this is the only track on the album that could have just easily been taken off. I don't know why it's on here. Like, musically, it doesn't fit. Vocally, it doesn't fit. The whole thing just feels weird. So, I don't know if this was to make somebody in the band happy, but, you know, and to whoever saying it, I'm not trying to put you down, but I'm just saying this doesn't fit with the rest of the album, in my opinion. And I'm just some guy on the internet, so who cares? But, not my favorite track in the bunch, put it that way. Side 2 opens up with The Thought of Loving You, and I really dig this one. Cool chord combos and composition. Pat's really pushing his voice on this one, and it's a lot of fun to listen to. Our Day Will Come follows that up, and great blend of instruments, shuffling hi-hats and xylophone. It's a dreamy but dancey kind of song. It's just a cool feeling throughout this one. No One for Me to Turn to, another song that should have been a radio classic instantly. It's one of those things you hear and it's like, why isn't this just in our DNA at this point? Why isn't this another More Than Yesterday? It's soulful and emotive with many catchy elements. Since I Don't Have You follows that up, and I love this cover of the old Skyliners classic. They nail it. The dreamy strings, the great horns. Pat's voice is just right on the top of this thing. It's fantastic. It's one of my favorite cuts in the album. And then the last song on here, Judas to the Love We Knew, is another one by Pat, and it's a very good closer, just a really great written song. It's catchy, sing-alongy, you get hooked by the end of it. When the song first started, when I first heard it, I was like kind of on it, and then as it continued playing, I was kind of like, oh, I'm sold the more and more I hear it. Um, Here's the back cover, but this album really is a classic. If you love More Today Than Yesterday and you want more in that vein, they're all on here. This album doesn't disappoint. It's got everything you could possibly want in that warm, rich, sunny, sunshine pop-ish stuff that was big at that time, except for Proud Mary, which is just a head scratcher of a track. But let me show you the inside here. No inner sleeve quite yet, but I will get one. The old school Columbia 2i label, as was tradition at the time. But the album is in great shape. I mean, looks like it wasn't played very much, but for a band that was absolutely a one-hit wonder, I wonder why nobody else talks about this album and why no one else is chatting about it. It's wonderful. For me, it's an 8 out of 10. The vocals, Pat's voice just nails it. And the music behind it is so carefully constructed. The blend of the voices and the instruments makes something very unique and special. It's a sound that they really have to their own. I mean, you can kind of say it's a bit of a grown-up Buckingham's with the horns, or what Chicago would become eventually, but for this in the middle era, if you will, they really nailed something special. So for me, 8 out of 10 for Spiral Staircase, More Today Than Yesterday. Highly, highly recommend if you're a fan of 60s pop. Don't sleep on this album. If you find it in the dollar bin, pick it up. You'll love it. Or stream it, or find it on CD, whatever you want to do. But there you go. 8 out of 10 for Spiral Staircase. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Giggens, and if you know more about these guys and their story, please let me know. There's not too much out there about them, but I would love to learn more about their rise and fall, if you will. So there you go. Thanks so much for watching. See you guys next video. Take care of yourselves.